Sometimes I just wish I could do things once, but it seems like I have to do them 2 or 3 times just to get it right. Live and learn, live and learn. When I built this barn not too long ago, I went ahead and put, of course, 2x4s and pickets for the fencing rather than using any type of metal fencing. I put the pickets in, and when we have goat kids, they can fit right through there. So what I'm going to have to do today is I'm just going to do this section first. I'm just going to have to pull all these pickets off. I'm going to have to close them in a little bit and put them back on. I also am going to incorporate a feeder. We've been milking the goats, so they basically eat. We feed them in the milking stand. That way they can eat while we milk them. So we're about to stop milking, so I need to put the feeder back up on the outside of the pen because it makes a lot less mess when you keep your feeders on the outside rather than on the inside, and they don't fight over it as much because I got to go through a picket or go through something. You know, they're more confined, so they don't fight with each other as much. But I'm going to go ahead and incorporate the feeder in here as well, like it used to be. I want to get something that the goats can't stick their heads through to the feed all the time. We can feed them and then open the door. That way then they can put their heads through. That way they're not knocking it out of your hand. Let's see what I can get done there today. Spencer, why don't you get these goats out of here? It's a pretty day today. It's been raining for the last 3 days. And now they've been inside here. We just cleaned the pens out, and 3 days later they're trashy because they spent so much time in here. So now it's a pretty day, and they are wanting to stay inside. Well, this is the feeder we're going to use that we've had forever. It seems to work good, and what I'll need to do is I'm going to attach it here. I need to run some studs across here above it and a stud for it to hook onto. And then I'm going to end up having to cut these. First thing I got to do is get some studs cut and get these taken off. And I am super happy I got screws in here, because I know I did nail some of them with the nail gun, but I do have screws in here, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem to take these off. This one I can just move over. And then these I'll just have to put closer together. Now I just got to figure out the height I want for the feeder. That's good. What are you doing out there, Pete? You're looking good out there, Pete. Keep it up. Get all the ladies attracted to you. Wow. Thanks, Spence. Almost ran into me. Didn't see you coming. That'll close off the bottom. Now I just got to figure out the height. Now I'll cut the pickets for up here. 19.5 inches. Sorry about the goat noise. They don't like not being able to get in here. Okay, and that should be good. They can't fit through that. Good to go. Now, might as well go ahead and stick these up a little closer. All right. Now the baby goat's one can't fit through there. Or there. What are you growling at? What are you growling at? What? What? Spencer. Go ball. Put it in the center. There we go. That'll work. And you feed them, and you can close it. I just put a lock on here. That way they can't open a door when it's not feeding time. There you go, girls. So now they can't get into their feed. You can fill it without them knocking you over. And what's good about it is they have to turn their heads to get it in and turn their heads to get out. That's what you want. That way they can't drag feed across and drag feed out. You keeping them girls straight? Yes, you are. Keeping those girls straight, aren't you? Now when we have babies, that's the problem. If you put a hole big enough in here that for them to be able to stick their heads out to eat or drink, your kid goats, if they're in the same pen, your kid goats will get right out. So, and that's the problem we ran into. I didn't think a lot of these holes were big, but until you have little ones, you'll find out. They get through a small hole. All right, well, it's close enough to feeding time, so let's give this thing a try, see how it works. All right, let's see what happens. There you go, girls. You're not a goat. What are you doing in here, Pete? Oh, here comes your girlfriend, too. Well, it seems like everybody's liking their feeder. Think it'll work out just fine. Well, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click on that subscribe button. And we'll see you on the next one.
There were days where we thought we wouldn't make it out, but we stuck it out. Today's our day. Today's our day. There were nights we would fight, no end in sight, nothing was right.